Designing and Facilitating Online Learning, Part 2. Hello and welcome. My name is Alison Bickford and this video is presented on behalf of the Workforce Development Unit, Sydney TAFE. This is the second of two videos on the subject of designing and facilitating online learning. The video series has been developed for teachers who are preparing a course for online learning. Part 1 of this video series explored the fundamentals of teaching and learning online, learning platforms and designing content for online learning. This video will cover the topics of writing questions and assessing online learning activities. The video will culminate in a series of questions to help teachers design an online learning activity end to end. Okay, now let's continue with topic 4, writing questions for online learning. We're going to refer to Gilly Salmon's 5-stage e-moderation model to look at how to approach writing questions in ways that help students become familiar with the technology and with participating in an online environment. Take a look at the URL on screen to refer to Gilly's model. It starts with Level 1. This is a time when students are unfamiliar with the platform, teacher and peers. Our role is to help students become familiar with the online environment and to feel motivated to learn online. To do this, we design activities and questions that help students establish relationships with their peers. Provide an orientation screencast video of the platform itself and be visible online to help reassure students that you are available to support their learning. Use learning activities that encourage non-threatening and familiar sharing to help set norms and support technology adoption. For example, a question such as, upload a picture that represents an attribute that you're proud of, add a caption. In a synchronous environment such as a webinar, use a game such as noughts and crosses to help students become familiar with the technology in a non-threatening way. Level 2 online socialisation is about enabling students to explore their online identities. Use the technology available to provide a means for students to express themselves simply. Ensure the questions are straightforward and open enough to enable students to express themselves. For example, write a small bio including why you have enrolled in this course or what's your favourite holiday memory. Within a couple of weeks of exploring the technical environment, sussing out the norms of the group and developing their online voice, students will be ready for Level 3, information exchange. Our questions should provide the opportunity for students to deepen their relationship with each other. Our facilitation should include questioning student responses and moderating student exchanges in meaningful, value-adding ways. During this time, the subject workload typically increases as students learn to manage their time as well as their online exchange. Level 4, knowledge construction, and students should be taking personal responsibility for their learning and thinking. Questions should encourage group work. The role of the teacher becomes less didactic and more of a guide to knowledge construction for individuals and groups. Students are clear of their personal responsibility to contribute to the group discussions. By Level 5, development, students are confident online learners who are prepared for the final assessment activities. As teachers, ask more complex questions and increase our expectations of learning that occurs during online interactions. Questions such as a group, devise a plan of action that will see Google hits for this online business increase by 100% in 4 weeks. By Levels 4 and 5, students are reflective of their learning journey. A personal learning journal is a useful way for teachers to motivate students' reflection and gain insight into the thought processes of the remote student. Let's now move on to the topic of assessing online learning activities. Formative assessments play a vital role in building student confidence and providing insight for us to calibrate our teacher delivery where required to ensure student learning success. Summative assessments provide the evidence that learning outcomes have been achieved. Online assessments are often preferable to paper-based because they are more easily trackable and auditable. For multiple choice questions, online assessment tools make marking easy. Rubrics, such as the example on the screen, are useful to help provide students with clarity into what they need to demonstrate to pass an assessment. This is important to online learners where teacher access to clarify a question is less immediate. When designing an online assessment, be sure to provide clear instructions. Where appropriate, provide a worked example to help students understand what they're required to do. Be sure to set completion deadlines and other parameters such as word count. When providing written feedback, use another font or colour if you can to make it easy for the students to scan for your feedback. In a webinar environment, assess student participation and contribution to discussion. Ask direct questions. Use polling, Q&A and other webinar functions to guide the assessment process. Okay, now let's pull all together the information we've been covering over these two videos. The topics we have looked at over the videos represent an end-to-end process for putting an online learning activity together. If you're in the process of designing an online activity, freeze the video now and work through these questions to help with your planning. There are 10 questions presented over these two screens. If you would like further information or support putting a course online, the Workforce Development Unit at Sydney TAFE is here to help. Simply call or email the team. This is the end of part 2 of this two-part video series. Thanks for listening and best wishes in your online endeavours.